All right, guys, we're on the Quran. We're starting a new book of the Quran, or a new sort of section. This is called cattle. Cattle. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. We're going from page 82 to 98. I'll just do 8 pages, see how far that gets me, and I'll just do the second part. Just break it in half. So, cattle of the Quran. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Praise be to God who created the heavens and the earth and ordained darkness and light, yet the unbelievers set up other gods as equals with their Lord. He it was who created you from clay, then he decreed a term for you in this world and another specified by him. Yet you are still in doubt. God is he in the heavens and on earth. He knows what you conceal and what you reveal. He knows what you do. Yet every time a revelation comes to them from their Lord, they pay no heed to it. Thus do they deny the truth when it is declared to them, but they shall learn the consequences of their scorn. Can they not see how many generations we have destroyed before them? We had given them more power in the land than the power we have given you. We had given them more power in the land than the power we had given you. We sent down for them abundant water from the sky, and we gave them rivers that rolled at their feet. Yet because they sinned, we obliterated them and raised up other generations after them. When he says, we have given them more power in the land than the power we had given you being, I guess right here, it says the Meccans. Uh, so again, this is interesting. Can they not see how many generations we have destroyed before them? That's an interesting idea because as I'm reading the Bible, the behavior of the God of the Bible, and you would say even the same God of the Muslims, because this book of this is the same revelation, the gospel, the Old Testament. They're referencing the stories from the Abrahamic stories, from the Old Testament, from the Torah, the books of Moses. Whoever wrote this book is referencing those actual that's those same revelations from the same God. So I also had that same idea as I read the Bible. I'm fascinated how like God's not a person of an individual. He's a person of he'll if that generation was disobedient, he wipes them out to keep and raise up another generation. So that's very interesting to me. So I also came up with that idea and as I'm reading this, that idea came up to me. That's like a sociology sort of thing. It's not like an individual psychology. It's like a group thing. Interesting. Very interesting. If we sent down to you a book inscribed on real parchment and they touched it with their own hands, the unbelievers would still assert this is but sorcery manifest. And they ask, why has no angel been sent down to him? If we had sent down an angel, judgment would have been passed, and they would have never been reprieved. And if we had made him an angel, we would have given him the semblance of a man, and would have thus added to their confusion. Other apostles have been laughed to scorn before you, but those that scoffed at them were felled by the very scourge they had derided or derided. Say, roam the earth and see what was the fate of those that disbelieved. Say, to whom belongs all that the heavens and the earth contain? Say, to God he has decreed mercy for himself and will gather you all on the day of resurrection, a day not to be doubted. Those who have forfeited their souls will never believe. A day not to be doubted. Okay, so say. And his is whatever takes its rest in the night or in the day, and he it is who hears all and knows all. Say, should I take any but God for my protector, creator of the heavens and the earth? He gives nourishment to all and is nourished by none. Say, I was commanded to be the first of the Muslims. You shall serve no other God besides him. Say, I will never disobey my Lord, for I fear the torment of a fateful day. He who is spared that day shall have received his mercy. That is the glorious triumph. If God afflicts you with an evil, none can remove it but him. And if he blesses you with good fortune, know that he has power over all things. He reigns supreme over his servants, and he alone is the wise one and the omniscient. Say, what counts most in testimony? Say, God is my witness and your witness. This Quran has been revealed to me that I may thereby warn you and all whom it may reach. Will you really testify there are other gods besides God? Say, I will testify to no such thing. Say, he is but one God. I disown the gods you serve besides him. like giving God obviously masculine nature, right? Those to whom we have given the book know him as they know their own children, but those who have forfeited their souls will never have faith. So when it says those to whom we have given the book, he means the Christians and the Jews. Well, that's the note on the bottom. And who is more wicked than the man who invents a falsehood about God or denies his revelations? The wrongdoer shall never succeed. On the day we heard them all together, we shall say to the pagans, where are your idols now? Those whom you claim to be your gods. They will then have no case to argue, but will only say, by God our Lord, we have never worshipped idols. You shall see how they have deceived themselves, and how the deities of their own invention will forsake them, and some among them listen to you. But we have cast veils over their hearts and made them hard of hearing, lest they understand your words. They will believe in none of our signs, even if they see them, one and all. When they come to argue with you, the unbelievers say, this is nothing but fables of the ancients. They forbid it and distance themselves from it. They ruin none but themselves, though they do not perceive it. So when they come to argue with you, the unbelievers say, this is nothing but fables of the ancients. They forbid it and distance themselves from it. They ruin none but themselves, though they do not perceive it. If you could see them when they are set before the fire, they will say, would that we could return. Then we would not deny the revelations of our Lord and would be true believers. Indeed, that which they concealed before will manifest itself to them. He said, like, oh, when it's too late, then they're going to ask, like, then they're going to believe when it's too late. But if they were sent back, they would return to that which they had been forbidden. They are surely lying. He's saying, oh, no, no, no. Even if they would still go back to their ways. They say, it is but this, our nether life, nor shall we ever be raised to life again. If you could see them when they are set before their Lord, he will say, is this not real? Yes, by our Lord, they will reply, and he will say, taste then the torment, the reward of your unbelief. Lost indeed are those who deny they will ever meet God. When the hour overtakes them unawares, they will say, alas, we have neglected much in our lifetime. And they shall bear their burdens on their backs. Evil are the burdens they shall bear. So pretty much like, I'm going to leave a little note right here. Unbelievers will be sorry, I guess. I'll put that. Unbelievers will be sorry. All right. The life of this world is but a sport and a diversion. The life of this world is but a sport and the life of this world is but a sport and a diversion. Surely better is the life to come for those that fear God. Will you not understand? We know too well that what they say grieves you. It is not you that they are disbelieving. The wrongdoers deny God's own revelations. Other apostles have been denied before you, but they patiently bore with disbelief and persecution until our help came down to them. Our help. For none can change the decrees of God. You have already heard of those apostles. And if you find their aversion hard to bear, seek if you can a tunnel in the earth or a ladder to the sky by which you may bring them a sign. Had God pleased, he would have given them guidance, one and all. Do not be foolish then. Those that can hear will surely answer. As for the dead, God will bring them back to life. Then to him shall they be recalled. They ask, why was no sign sent down to him from his Lord? Say, God is well able to send down a sign, but most of them have no knowledge. All the beasts that roam the earth and all the birds that soar on high are but communities like your own. We have left out nothing in the book. Then to their Lord they shall be heard it all. Deaf and dumb are those that deny our revelations. They are in darkness. God confounds whom he will, and whom he pleases he guides on to a straight path. Say, do but consider when God's scourge smites you, when the hour suddenly overtakes you. Will you call on any but God to help you? Answer me if you are truthful. No, on him you will call, and he will relieve your affliction if he pleases. Then you will forget your idols. We sent forth apostles before you to other communities and afflicted them with calamities and misfortunes, that they might humble themselves, if only they did humble themselves when our scourge overtook them. But their hearts hardened, and Satan made their deeds seem fair to them. And when they had clean forgotten our admonition, we opened every door for them. But just as they were rejoicing in what they were given, we suddenly smote them, and lo, they were despondent. Thus were the wrongdoers annihilated. Praise be to God, Lord of the universe. Say, do but consider, if God took away your hearing and your sight and set a seal upon your hearts, could any but God restore them to you? See how we expound the revelations, and yet they turn away. Say, do but consider, if the scourge of God overtook you suddenly or predictably, would any perish but the wrongdoers? We send forth apostles only to proclaim joyful tidings and to give warning. Those that believe in them and mend their ways shall have nothing to fear or to regret, and those that deny our revelation shall be punished for their foul deeds. Say, I do not tell you that I possess God's treasures or know what is hidden, nor do I say to you, I am an angel. I follow only that which is revealed to me. So I do not tell you that I possess God's treasures or know what is hidden, nor do I say to you, I am an angel. I follow only that which is revealed to me. So he's saying, say this to those people. And also say, are the blind and the seeing equal? Will you not reflect? Warn those who dread to be hurted before their Lord that they have no guardian or intercessor besides him, so that they may fear him. Do not drive away those that call on their Lord morning and evening, seeking only to gain his favor. You are in no way accountable for them, nor are they in any way accountable for you. If you dismiss them, you shall yourselves become a wrongdoer. It's like, the person that's willing to believe, like, don't push those people away. And thus have we made some among them a means for testing others, so that they should say, are these the ones God has favored among us? But does not God best know the thankful? If those that believe in our revelations come to you, say, peace be upon you. Your Lord has decreed mercy for himself. If anyone among you has done a bad deed through ignorance and then repented and mended his ways, he will find God forgiving and compassionate. Thus do we expound our revelations, so that the path of the guilty may be laid bare. Say, I am forbidden to worship the deities you invoke besides God. Say, I will not yield to your wishes, for then I would have strayed and ceased to be on the right path. Say, I have received veritable proofs from my Lord, yet you deny him. I have no power to hasten that which you challenge. Judgment is for God only. He it is who declares the truth, and it is the best of arbiters. Say, had I the power to hasten that which you challenge, judgment would have been passed between myself and you. But God best knows the wrongdoers. He has the keys to all that is hidden. None knows it but him. He knows all that land and sea contain. Every leaf that falls is known to him. There is no grain in the darkest bowels of the earth, nor anything green or sere, but is recorded in a veritable book. It is he who claims you back by night, knowing what you have done by day, and then rouses you up to fulfill your allotment, or to fulfill your allotted span of life. He it is who claims you back by night, knowing what you have done by day, and then rouses you up to fulfill your allotted span of life. That to him shall you return, and he will then declare to you all that you have done. He it is who reigns supreme over his servants, and he sends forth guardians to watch over you, so that when death overtakes any of you, our emissaries will claim him back. They never fail. Then are all restored to God, their true Lord. His alone is the judgment, and most swift is his reckoning. Say, who delivers you from the dark perils of land and sea, when you call out to him humbly and in secret, saying, save us from these, and we will be truly thankful. Say, God delivers you from them and from all afflictions, that you worship idols. Say, he it is who has power to let loose a scourge upon you from above your heads and from beneath your feet, and to divide you into discordant factions, causing the one to suffer at the hands of the other. See how we expound our revelations that they may understand them. Your people have rejected this. So your people have rejected this being the Quran. Your people have rejected the Quran, although it is the very truth. Say, I am not your keeper. The time will come when every prophecy shall be fulfilled, and you shall learn. So he's saying, say, I'm not your keeper. The time will come when every prophecy shall be fulfilled, and you shall learn. If you see those that scoff at our revelations, withdraw from them till they engage in other talk. And should say and cause you to forget, take leave of the wrongdoers as soon as you remember. Those that fear God are in no way accountable for them. Remind them only that they may fear him. Avoid those that treat their faith as a sport and a diversion and are seduced by the life of this world. Admonish them with this, lest their souls be damned by their own actions, having no guardian or intercessor besides God. And though they offer every ransom, it shall not be accepted from them. Such are those that are damned by their own actions. Scalding water shall they drink, and suffer woeful torment for their unbelief. Say, are we to call on idols which can neither help nor harm us? Are we to turn upon our heels after God has guided us, like him who, being bewitched by demons in the land, blunders along perplexed, although his friends call him to the right path, shouting, come this way? Say, God's guidance is the only guidance. We are commanded to submit to the Lord of the universe, to pray and to fear him. Before him shall you be herded all. The God of the universe. He it was who created the heavens and the earth with truth. On the day he says, be, it shall be. His word is truth, and sovereignty shall be his on the day when the trumpet is blown. He has knowledge of the unknown and the manifest. He alone is the wise one, the omniscient. Tell of Abraham, who said to Azar, his father, will you worship idols as your gods? I can see that you and your people are in palpable error. Tell of Abraham, who said to his father, thus did we show Abraham the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, so that he might become a firm believer. When night drew its shadow over him, he saw a star. That, he said, is surely my God. But when it faded away, he said, I have no love for such that fade. When he beheld the rising moon, he said, that is my God. But when it set, he said, if my Lord does not guide me, I shall surely go astray. Then when he beheld the sun rising, he said, that must be my God. It is larger. But when it set, he said to his people, I disown your idols. I will turn my face to him who has created the heavens and the earth and will live a righteous life. I am no idolater. His people argued with him. He said, will you argue with me about God who has given me guidance? I do not fear your idols unless my Lord so willed for a purpose. My Lord has prodigious knowledge of all things. Will you not reflect? And how should I fear your idols when you yourselves are not afraid of serving idols not sanctioned for you by God? Which of us is more deserving of salvation? Tell me if you know. Those that have faith and do not taint their faith with wrongdoing shall surely earn salvation and are rightly guided. Such was the argument with which we furnished Abraham against his people. We raise whom we will to an exalted rank. Your Lord is wise and all-knowing. We gave him Isaac and Jacob and guided both as we had guided Noah before them. Among his descendants were David and Solomon, Job, Joseph, Moses, Aaron. Thus do we reward the righteous, Zacharias and John, Jesus and Elias, or Elijah. All were upright men, and Ishmael, Elisha, Jonah, and Lot. All these we exalted above the nations, as we had exalted some of their fathers, their children, and their brothers. We chose them and guided them to a straight path. Such is God's guidance. He guides those of his servants whom he chooses. Had they served other gods besides him, their labors would have been vain indeed. On those we bestowed the book, wisdom. On those we bestowed the book, wisdom, and prophethood. If these are denied by them, we will entrust them to others who will not deny them. It was those whom God had guided, follow them, their guidance, and say, I demand of you no recompense for this. It is but an admonition to mankind. And they have no true notion of God's glory, those that say God has never revealed anything to a mortal. Say, who then revealed the scriptures which Moses brought down, a light and a guide for mankind? You have transcribed them on scraps of paper, declaring you have transcribed them on scraps of paper, declaring some and suppressing much, though now you have been taught what neither you nor your fathers knew before. Say, God, then leave them to amuse themselves with foolish chatter. Like, just say God, that's it. This is a blessed book which we have revealed, confirming what came before it, that you may warn the mother city, Mecca, and those that dwell around her, those who believe in the life to come, believe in it, and are steadfast in their prayers. Who is more wicked than he who invents a falsehood about God, or says, this was revealed to me when nothing was revealed to him, or says, I can reveal the like of what God has revealed? Could you but see the wrongdoers when death overwhelms them? With hands outstretched, the angels will say, yield up your souls this day. You shall be rewarded with the scourge of shame, for you have said of God what is untrue and scorned his revelations. And now you have returned to us one by one as we created you at first, leaving behind all that we bestowed on you. Nor do we see with you your intercessors, those whom you claim to be God's equals. Broken are the ties which bound you, and that which you claimed has failed you. God, it is who splits the seed and the fruit stone. He brings forth the living from the dead and the dead from the living, such as God. How then can you turn away? All this is pretty interesting. He kindles the light of dawn. He has ordained the night for rest, and the sun and the moon for reckoning. Such is the ordinance of the Mighty One, the All-Knowing. So I'm going to just kind of leave it there. We're on page 91, about 7 more pages. I don't want to make it that long. All right, guys, that was the first part of cattle. Peace.